everyone and welcome to my channel. My name is Carol. Today's video is all about one brand which is called Yana Proviz Beauty. Yana P Beauty. This is a brand that is local to Israel, but they also have a website that ships internationally. It is, I believe, an indie brand. It's owned by Yana, funded by her only, and everything that she has is exclusively hers. Her brand doesn't cover every category of things, but there are so many products that she has, and I've tried every single one of them. Every single product that she has, I've tried, and I basically love everything except for the liquid lipsticks. Not because her formula is bad, simply because I don't like liquid lipsticks. I gave mine to my mom and I kept the gloss because I'm obsessed with it. However, today I thought I would start off by showing you the products and applying them on my face, as well as discussing them so that you can get familiarized with the line. I've been in touch with the brand and I know for a fact that they are also vegan as well as cruelty-free. Their brushes are made with synthetic fibers that are so incredible, by the way. They are crazy good. It's like, how did they get so good? I've tried so many synthetic things in my life. Synthetic bristles, obviously, and they are by far like some of the best I've ever tried. But we'll be talking about those as we go along with the video. So I'm personally someone who is not very worried about vegan products, but I do use exclusively cruelty-free, and that's why I really love this range. Not only am I using cruelty-free, but I'm also like using vegan products, and that's like a win-win situation for me. Last thing I want to say about the brand is that Yana herself is an influencer, a local influencer here in Israel. She makes videos in Hebrew, so if you know Hebrew, I will leave a link to her channel down below. She's incredible. She's currently pregnant and she's probably close to her due date, I'm not sure. She's stunning. Her hair is split in half. One side is like platinum or like whitish, and the other side is black. It's so stunning, and I'm very, very jealous of her. And I think that her aesthetic is carried through with the packaging of each product in her line. You can definitely tell that there's thought into it. Now, in my opinion, and I'm not trying to spill any tea or anything like that, a lot of times when influencers come out with products, I feel like it's just an easy cash grab because they know that their supporters will automatically buy them. However, with her line, I do feel like it's someone who already knows what they're doing. She is somebody who understands formulas, she understands undertones, she understands things like that, and I do feel like there is thought put into each and every release of hers. I've tried everything, as I've said, and I'm going to show you everything, and I'm pretty sure you're going to be very, very impressed. She even has false lashes, which are just beautiful. Really, really pretty. Her styles are very user-friendly, and they look good on pretty much everyone. Anyways, without any further blah, 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 let's get started. All of her cheek products are under the name of Dodge and Burn, which I'm pretty sure is something related to Photoshop or something like that. I don't quite know, but I think it's related to Photoshop as far as I can remember. She talked about it in her video. Today I'm going to start off by using her bronzer. She has 4 shades of every type of product. So if it's a blush, she has 4 shades of blush. If it's a contour, it's 4 highlighter and bronzer, therefore 4 each. And for her complexion products, not color, so basically not a blush, her products are numbered and their names are basically skin tones. So this one is in the number 01 and it's fair or light, fair to light. This is the shade. As you can see, it's not gray, but it's definitely cool tone. It's like a cool tone light brownie taupe, and that's perfect for me because, as you can see, I'm not necessarily like tan or anything like that. I have a pretty light skin tone. I'm not the lightest, nor am I the darkest. So this is just perfect for me, and I really, really like it. The formula is very, very soft and smooth and quite pigmented for a contour product. So I would go with a light hand and I wouldn't pile too much. Let me show you. So I don't know if you can see, let's just pile it on for a second. Did you see that? A lot of it came off because it's quite powdery. The brush I use for this purpose is a brush from Wayne Goss that I got before I became cruelty-free, so the bristles are not synthetic. Look at that. All of her cheek products are insanely easy to blend, quite pigmented, as I said. I mean, that made a world of difference, didn't it? It's so good. And I just feel like they blend themselves. They're very long lasting at the same time. Like I don't ever remember a time when I applied any Yana Proviz product and then by the end of the day I was like, well, didn't I apply contour? Where did it go? It always stays. It always looks perfect by the end of the day, and I really love it. I also like to contour the sides of my nose. I start off here because this is where I'm the most insecure, and I blend it up. I love these things. I just love them. What a beautiful shade. Look at my nose. I should probably have a before and after look. I just feel like my nose after contouring looks a lot better. I know that technically I don't have an ugly nose, but I feel like everybody is dissatisfied with their noses, and I'm just one of them. I feel like we're supposed to be dissatisfied with our nose. I feel like if you're happy with the nose you have, then like, what's wrong with you? Now, let's move on to the next product, which is her bronzer. This is the bronzer that she has. This is again a Dodge and Burn bronzer in the shade 01, and it is not warm toned. Thank the Lord. I don't like a bronzer that's too warm toned. I like it to be very neutral, and this is exactly that. This is a neutral bronzer. Pigmented, beware, don't use too much. It blends insanely well, however. I apply bronzer with her brush also in the number 02. It is kind of reminiscent of the Tom Ford and of the MAC 154 or 156 or something like that. I haven't tried the Tom Ford one because first of all I don't use Tom Ford products because they're not cruelty free. Second of all, I find it insanely expensive. Insanely expensive. This one is not cheap. It's like $30 or something like that. I don't remember. I'll leave a link to all of the products as well as the prices and everything in the information box, in the description box. But this is synthetic. It's like the softest thing I've ever stroked on my face. I feel like I'm just like, I took a bunny and I'm like, oh, cuddling with it, and it's like the softest thing. It's so soft, and it washes beautifully. I've washed it I think about 20 million times at this point. I've had them since November or early December or something like that, and they have just held up perfectly. Especially this is my most used Yana Proviz brush. I love this thing. I love it. And also I know that I put my friend onto it. She got it and she got the bronzer and she's like obsessed, just as obsessed as I am. It's just so gorgeous. I mean, look at that. It's the most perfect bronzer, I feel. Before we move on to blush, let me just say that this would apply powder beautifully. It would even apply contour very beautifully, but it wouldn't be precise because it's quite fluffy, as I said. It would apply contour kind of haphazardly, so I just prefer using a smaller brush for contour. This would also apply blush and apply highlighter easily. With highlighter, it would apply too softly that it would look like just a natural glow as opposed to like a highlight that I feel, which could be a good thing, but I like for my highlighter to beam. That's why I don't use this for that. And I also don't like to like cross-contaminate, kind of. Like if I'm using a contour and then I'm moving on to a bronzer and then I'm going back to contour, I just feel like they need to have separate brushes for those things. Anyways, this is her brush in the number 1. It is much more dense and way less fluffy. And this would apply a lot of things well. This would apply your liquid products well. Like, I believe that this would blend. I've applied foundation with this once and it was really nice, but I do like it for blush a little bit more. I also have tried it with contour, with bronzer, and with blush with highlight, and I do feel like maybe if you want to apply powder, this would apply powder, but maybe it would apply it too heavily. Something like that would apply powder a bit more, like it would give you like a thin application of it, but if you want to pile it on, this would be a good brush to do that. Now, I'm gonna use her blush. I have 3 shades of her blushes because I'm obsessed. This one is in the shade Cheers. This is the Belgian Burn blush in the shade Cheers. She has Reef. She has Peachy Glow, and she has Sunkissed. I have a limited edition one called Sunkissed Glow. I have also Peachy Glow, and I also have this. I would say that for her blushes, the degree of pigmentation varies. If you are going to use a blush like this, which is matte, it offers more pigmentation than a glowy blush. And I will show you an example. While we're at it, why not? I have here Cheers. This is a swatch of it. And I also have Sunkissed Glow. This is a swatch. You can definitely tell that you can see this is Cheers. I don't even know if you can see Sunkissed Glow. And I've applied more of Sunkissed Glow on my finger than I did Cheers. I'm gonna apply or try to layer it a little bit more so that you can see. Okay, maybe. Oh, I applied it over. Here we go. Maybe now. Can you see it? You can definitely see the glow, but you can't really tell that there is a color. Honestly, for her matte blushes, I like using my other blush brush for it. Let me show you. I have this blush, and for her matte blushes, since they're very pigmented, I think that this is enough. For her glowy blush, you need to use something dense to be able to really see it. I'm going to layer today while we're talking about her products. I don't know if you can tell, but I suddenly gained a little bit more warmth because Cheers was a bit more cool toned, and some glow. Now, this basically means that I find her blush line to be a little bit inconsistent with how heavily pigmented they are. The matte ones are really, really pigmented. The glowy ones, it's debatable. That's not a bad thing, to be honest, because I do find that the matte ones are slightly too pigmented. Maybe like this is like an eyeshadow swatch, not really a blush swatch for the most part. That could be a good thing if you have a dark skin tone, because you know that this will show up on your skin. This will show up as a highlight on someone with dark skin. Honestly, I enjoy the contour and the bronzer way more than I enjoy the blushes, but I still have 3, which tells you that I really like them still. Honestly, there hasn't been a single product from her range that I didn't like, so just being honest here. Finally, for her cheek products, we have the highlighter. This is the Belgian Burn highlighter in the shade 1. This is a beautiful highlighter. Now, my highlighter brush has all sorts of things on it, all sorts of highlighter. I'm trying to clean it to the best of my abilities so that you can see this truly. This is how it looks. It is quite dry and not very creamy, but it is there nonetheless. It doesn't have my favorite formula, and they're not my favorite like highlighters by any means, but you can definitely see that they are there. And I find that the more you blend them in, the more they beam, the more they reflect. Like, that's very, very pretty. But again, I personally think that her contour and her bronzer are just the winners when it comes to her cheek products. But still, if you like something that is soft and buildable, these are great. If you like something that is strong off the bat, no, don't get these. These can be built, and I'm going to try my best to build them to be as blinding as can be, just so you can see. And you can obviously like wet your brush and apply this with it, and it will look really, really gorgeous. I'm done with building up this highlighter. I don't like to work too much for my things, so this would tell you that if you like your highlighter to be like reflective, beaming from outer space, this would give you the effect if you really work on it. if you want something soft and everyday friendly, this is your friend, I would say. I was gonna say something else, but I backtracked because I'm trying to use less profanity. Okay, now a product that I've already applied but I want to share with you, I'm gonna leave like a link to a video where I applied it if you want to see, is her loose powder. This is my favorite loose powder I've ever tried in my entire life, period. .com, .net, .coil, .everything. This is this is Yana Proviz Brighton Blur Translucent Setting Powder. This is her packaging. I mean, gorgeous. And also there is a net. So what you're supposed to do is shake it, and the net will, like powder will be dispensed through the net, and you can apply it wherever you want. So it's just like a loose powder, like wherever loose powder goes. Her loose powder, she has two shades of loose powder. She has one that's like this, which is like a fair, friendly, translucent powder, and she has one that's quite tanned, and I'm kind of thinking that maybe it would look beautiful as a bronzer if you have fair skin, but I haven't tried it yet. I just, in my mind, I'm envisioning it to be like a beautiful loose bronzer, but I don't think I want to try it now because I'm trying not to spend too much money on makeup. This is how the powder looks, and it feels like velvet. It feels beautiful. Beautiful. It's I wish you could just like feel it. It's really, really nice, and it's supposed to brighten. I don't really notice that that is the case. I find it to be perfect, and it doesn't change the color of whatever I apply underneath, and it sets beautifully without making my under eyes look dry or dehydrated or anything like that. I really, really do like it. I find that this is a successful product of hers, and obviously you can use any of her brushes to apply it. If you want to bake, you can probably use her brush in 01, and if you want just like a light dusting of powder, you can probably use number 2 for it, which is this, and they will apply powder really, really well, perfectly. Now, moving on to her eye products. She has these beautiful things, which she calls creme de la creme. What does she exactly call them? This is the creme de la creme eyeliner. It's supposed to be an eyeliner, but it's like a cream shadow. You can use it for whatever reason or whatever purpose you have. I have 3 shades, and I'm going to show them to you. I have Gemini. Such a beautiful shade. I also have Venus, and I think they're called after planets. I'm pretty sure, like. And then the other one is Orion. This is beautiful. This is more like of a warm-toned lover's dream. And she also has the one in Orion, which is quite similar to Gemini, but darker, especially this shade. This would be a beautiful eyeliner. Beautiful eyeliner, especially if you love a brown liner. Stunning. She also has 3 eye brushes. Mine are dirty because I use them. This is her brush in 03. It's like a crease blending brush. This is her brush in 04, which is like a pencil inner corner type brush. And she also has this, which is a tiny little eyeliner brush, which is really, really good. Really, really lovely. Honestly, I like to use this for powder, except for this. I like to use this for powder, not really for her cream products. I like to use the cream products with my fingers, but for the purpose of today's video, I'm going to apply them with the brush. I'm going to take the shade Gemini. I need a mirror for that. Absolutely. Let me use one of her mirrors, since it's like a Yana Proviz video. I'm going to use Gemini. I'm going to try taking the darker shade first, the matte shade, the taupey shade. Here. This is Gemini. I'll take this one, and I will apply it all over my lid. I'll go back and forth just to make sure that it blended smoothly. And you should work quickly, especially with her mattes, because when they dry, they are there forever. They're not the most fast drying in the world, but I would say that they dry relatively quickly. This, and maybe if you blend the edges with the contour, Oh, stunning. I'll take the same shade with the brush in 04, which is the pencil brush, and I will apply it on my bottom lash line. They are extremely long lasting, so you can probably apply them in your waterline and they wouldn't even budge. She has one, I think it's called Eclipse, which is black and white. And you can basically use like the black to tight line or use the white in your waterline to give your eyes like a more wide-eyed effect. For some brightness, I'm going to use my finger and I'm going to just like apply a little bit on my finger and press it over top my inner lid, and it just gives you like this light. Just a tip, when you're using these, when your finger is not in the tub, just make sure that it's upside down so that it doesn't dry out. You don't want to dry them out too soon. Once these are set, they're there all day, all night. They are very long lasting. I'm gonna move on to apply a little bit of liner just to show you. I'm gonna use Orion. I'm gonna use the lighter one. I'll take my liner brush. It's in the number 505, and I'll take the darker shade. I'm going to apply it as a liner. I don't like a crazy cat eye. I'll apply it just to define the eyes. I always struggle with making my eyes even, so don't laugh at me. I'll take just like a little bit of the lighter shade and I'll just apply it in my inner corner, just the slightest bit. I'm terrible with applying false lashes. It's not that her false lashes aren't good, they're fantastic. I'm just awful. So I'll apply them off camera, come back to show you how they look, and then apply my lip product. I am a bit of a struggle bus when it comes to applying huge falsies. I mean, you can definitely tell that they're not perfect, but it's not her, it's me. I'm just not good with falsies. If you want a lash style that she makes, that I find to be quite easy to apply, and I'm pretty sure that it's down to the size, I would have to really recommend Strike a Pose. This is, oh, where did I put it? It is lost. It is somewhere in one of the containers. I hope I didn't lose. Oh, here they are. Okay, this is Strike a Pose. I'm gonna have to separate them. They're glued together. I'm terrible with cleaning my lashes. I just don't. She also has a lash applicator, which looks like this. It looks fancy, right? Like gold and everything. I think it's gold plated, and it's supposed to make applying lashes easier. Honestly, I haven't really ever applied falsies aside from hers, so this is maybe like my 5th time applying lashes in like the past 5 years. Clearly not experienced enough, but I feel like they're cute. It's just my application that's not. Anyways, let's just finish up the look with some lip gloss, because her lip gloss is just so beautiful. I told you that I don't ever wear liquid lipsticks, so you're not gonna come to my channel to find a liquid lipstick review. You can come find a gloss review. This is one of my favorite glosses because it is exactly to my preference. I like a clear gloss with sparkles, or just a clear gloss overall. I just like sheer, barely pigmented glosses. I find them to be also like easier to maintain. Like if a gloss is heavily pigmented, and a gloss isn't ever supposed to be very long lasting because it's just too emollient to last long on your lips, then it just like looks weird and patchy and uneven, and it disappears too quickly. Anyways, so her gloss comes with stunning packaging. It kind of matches her hair, and her doe foot applicator is pointed, so it goes perfectly on your cupid's bow. And as you can see, it's already gleaming. Now, her formula is it's not thick as cement. It's somewhere in between. And it's not really sticky, but slightly, like ever so slightly. Not sticky to the degree that you like shut your lips and struggle to open them again, or like you have those strings that are really, really hideous. This is how they look, and you can easily like build them up, honestly. Like, let's apply another layer and they won't feel like they're suffocating your lip. And you can obviously apply it using the other side. I feel like it reminds me of the YSL lip stains, if you know what I'm talking about. I don't use Yves Saint Laurent anymore, simply because not cruelty free, but it kind of reminds me of the same applicator. Now, these have a taste to them. Nothing else has a smell or a taste. Well, nothing else is applied on your lips, so you won't be able to taste them, right? This has a smell. It's kind of fruity, I would say. I suck at like giving descriptions of scents and tastes, so don't really listen to me too much. But so overall, I really love these. Now, I will finish the video by giving you my top 5 recommendations. I've given very high recommendations, or I've given quite good reviews to almost everything. If I had to limit myself to only 5 products from her range, I would get her contour and her bronzer. I would get her face powder. I would get brush number 2. Where did it go? Here we go. I would get the bronzer brush that I used. I really, really like it. And I would probably get, well, this is the tricky part. Do I want a gloss or do I want this? And this would be completely up to your preference. If you use cream eyeshadows more often, then you get this. I like lip glosses more, so I would say this. These would be my 5 products. If I could get 6, I would get these. But overall, that would be it. If I were to tell you not to get something, I wouldn't get the eye brushes. I wouldn't get any of them. Not number 3 or 4 or 5. I don't think that any of them are particularly like innovative, that you have to go to a specific brand that's oceans away from where you live just to get an eye brush. I don't think so. And maybe I wouldn't get the highlighter if I don't like a subtle highlighter, if I don't like subtle glow. If I like a beaming glow, I wouldn't get it. And her blushes, if you like a pigmented blush, you maybe skip the shimmery ones, get the matte ones. That's just my advice. Other than that, I'm pretty much happy with everything that I've tried, honestly. Like, I haven't found any major disappointments, and I've tried every single product in her line. I've tried all of her applicators. I even have this. This is her like mascara applicator. You can like apply this and do this just to protect your eyes. You can even use this to like create some shape, and maybe you can even use this to have a defined like contour or whatever. But honestly, like, I'm never ever gonna use it. I did it only once to try it because I received it for free, and that was it. I don't find a use for it, to be honest. Anyways, that is it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'm hoping that I give you a fair representation of the brand. I personally adore Yana as a person, and I love the brand. I think that this is a well thought out brand, and it's not just an easy, quick cash grab that unfortunately many YouTubers brands are. And yeah, if you have any questions, you can obviously leave it in the description box down below, or you can even hit me up on Instagram at CarolCosmos. And I guess that is everything for today's video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you very, very soon in the next one. Bye bye.